Hello everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media. So I am back today with a kind of miscellaneous haul video, I guess. So over the past 2 months, I've been collecting kind of an unusual amount of video games. I have a couple of graphic novels, a media tie-in junior novelization, and a pop figure. And so I figured, you know what, let's kind of just combine all of these into one, I don't know, random haul, miscellaneous haul, whatever I'm going to call this video, I have no idea. But we're going to talk collectibles, books, graphic novels, and video games in this haul. So hopefully, even though there's no movies in this one, hopefully you guys will still be interested in seeing some of the other media that I've been picking up over the past month and a half, 2 months here. So really excited to share with you guys some of the things I've been grabbing outside of movies. So hopefully you are as well. And if you are, give this video a like down below. That engagement really does help me out. But with that said, let's not waste any more time at all. Let's dive right in to my random / miscellaneous media haul. Typically at the beginning of each month, I will go back and share with you guys everything else that I grabbed. So whether it's movies, TV series, video games, manga, whatever it is, I'll share that with you guys at that point. But for the month of February, I honestly didn't have that much everything else I normally call it. And so, and also now we're at the end of March, basically. It's March, late March, whatever today's date is. And so I figured, you know what? Let's just do February, March together. So you will see all of the other movies that I grabbed. I'll show that at the beginning of April for the last 2 months. But today I want to go over the other items that I would share. So these date back as far as the beginning of February all the way through to as early as a couple hours ago, because I just got back from Disc Replay again because they were having a sale. So I had to check it out. But yeah, so let's start with the only Funko Pop that I ended up finding recently. Actually, I've kind of stopped buying Funko Pops, not 100%, but there's just been nothing interesting. Box Lunch was a big place I used to get Funko Pops, and they've had nothing of note recently. Well, my daughter and I happened to go to the mall, I don't remember when, sometime last month, and we were just looking through the Funko Pops, and this one was available. The lady actually came up to me and said, "Hey, I see you're looking at the Funko Pops. Just so you know, I do have a Chase figure available behind the counter if you're interested." Well, I don't have any Chase figures, not super interested in them, but I figured, why not give it a look? So I did, and then my daughter turned out she wanted another one, which I guess I should have brought that down here, but I forgot about it. I don't even remember what it was. Maybe it was Moana. I think it was Moana, actually. She wanted a Moana pop, and so it was buy one, get one 30% off. So I said, well, if you're getting this one, I might as well get this Chase figure because it's a cool one to have for the collection. Like I said, the only Chase figure I've ever gotten, and I think it's a pretty cool looking one. Honestly, I would have preferred the one with her mask on because that's Catwoman to me, but this is still cool, and it's going to be one that's hard to find down the road. So, if nothing, it's cool to have it in the collections. But let me know down in the comments below if this is actually a difficult one to find or not, if you are a pop connoisseur, because I see them, I like them, I pick them up. That's pretty much all I know about Funko Pops. But let me know if this one is actually difficult to find or not. So yeah, Selena Kyle, the only Chase figure from my collection, and the only figure I have in the Batman line. So I did manage to find 1 book and 2 graphic novels, so we'll talk about those here. And the first one is the book I found. It's actually a junior novelization of Wonder Woman 84. So I know this movie is universally not loved, but that's okay. This one I actually found from the Dollar Tree. And you guys know I'm a big fan of junior novelizations. I collect them whenever I can, whenever they're cheap. And so yeah, that's, when I find it at the Dollar Tree, I'm absolutely going to pick it up, especially when it's in great condition like this. So yeah, I love these. They are, middle grade books, but they are novelizations. And so it's just really fun to have these in the collection. And so yeah, Wonder Woman 84 is the next junior novelization in my collection. And I think that's just fun. So that is the only book I grabbed, but I did grab a couple of graphic novels. So I went back to Ollie's recently, and they did have some new graphic novels in. I was actually looking for, my buddy found, what was it, Preacher, I guess, volumes, it was deluxe book 2 and 3 or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but that's what I was looking for. But unfortunately, they only had one of the deluxe books, and it was some random one that I didn't need. And so I didn't find that, but I did find the next volume of Fables. So this is number 4, and what is this one called? This is March of the the Wooden Soldiers, and this is written by Bill Willingham. So I picked up like Deluxe Book 1 last year at Ollie's, and then I did already own, or I picked it up at Ollie's, I don't remember, Book 3, but at that time they didn't have book 4. Well, now they did, and so I wanted to pick it up. They do have like random ones later in this series, but I'm just kind of sticking with the most recent one I need, and that was this one this time around. So I've only read volume 1 of this series, but I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I have every intention to go back and read more of it. Like I said, I do own now the first 4 volumes of this story. So this is like adult fairy tale, essentially. It is our well-known fairy tales that we have grown up with, Little Red Riding Hood, things like that, but it's done in a very adult style. The first volume was like a murder mystery, essentially, very bloody, but it was really cool. And so I am very excited to dive deeper into this world and see if I, continue to enjoy it. So this is like what, $3 or $4 at Ollie's. It is super cheap. So I'm not going to pass it up because eventually I'm sure I'll get to it. So yeah, very excited to add Fables Volume 4, March of the Wooden Soldiers, written by Bill Willingham, to the graphic novel collection. This next one here is really cool as well. This is actually DC, and I recently signed up for whatever it's called, DC Infinite, I think is what the app is. It's the Marvel Unlimited equivalent, because they had a 50% off sale sometime last month. I don't remember exactly, but so it's like $37.50 or something for an entire year of DC Infinite. And so I figured, why not give it a shot? It's so cheap, you might as well do it. If I read like 5 graphic novels over the course of a year, it has more than paid for itself. So that's why I only ended up buying this one, because they had some other Batman graphic novels there, but I figured, I don't know if I like them or not, so I might as well read them first, and then if I want to collect them in the physical form after the fact, then I can do that. But I have a ton of graphic novels that I need to read still, so I figured, you know what, stick with the digital copies of these for the time being. If you love them, then pick them up. But I did grab this one because it was $8 for this big honkin' hardcover book here. This is Detective Comics 80 Years of Batman Deluxe Edition. So this has like random Batman stories in it. Some of the greatest hits of Batman, including the very first appearance of Batman. Let me see. Yeah, the very first Batman story, the debuts of other legendary characters like Robin, Batgirl, Batwoman, and even Batmite. I don't know Batmite, so that's pretty cool. An original story set during Bruce Wayne's childhood. This is really cool. A never before published sketchbook. This is awesome. And so I figured, because this is kind of like a compilation, it's not something that I would easily be able to read on DC Infinite. And I really hope I'm giving that the right name. I think that's what it's called though. But anyway, yeah. So Detective Comics, 80 Years of Batman. I thought this was a cool one, especially you can see the price was like what, $7.90? Yeah, $7.99. That's super cheap. So why not give this one an ad for the collection? So yeah, really cool one. Another hardcover for my graphic novel collection. Detective Comics 80 Years of Batman Deluxe Edition, and that is the last graphic novel I ended up picking up. So let's jump on over to the video games next. So with the video games, this is running the whole gamut today. So I'm going as old as PlayStation to as new as Xbox Series X, and we're going to hit some of those in the middle there. So I know I'll lose some of you here, and that's fine if you're not interested in video games. I totally understand. And honestly, even if you are a gamer, some of these games might not interest you terribly, because they are, some of them, sports, well, the majority of them are sports games. So let me just start off with the PlayStation games I found recently. Have no idea really why I decided, you know what, I want some PlayStation games, but here we are. The first one here is Cyber Tiger on PS1. So this is a golf game, but it's an arcadey, over-the-top golf game. And the reason I got this one is because I'm going to forget his name. It's The Beast, I think is what his name is. But he's beating every Nintendo 64 game, and I love his series here on YouTube. And he recently did Cyber Tiger on N64, and it looked like a lot of fun. But there's actually a mode on the PlayStation version that is it's like a career mode, I think it is, but it's one that's not included on the N64 version. So I grabbed it because it looked like a lot of fun. So Cyber Tiger is the first one I grabbed. And then, because I was looking through them, I've been watching some NFL Blitz on YouTube recently. Another channel I follow, 616 Entertainment, I think is that channel name. They were doing like a Monday Night Blitz series. Well, this is not Blitz. This is NFL Extreme 2. So this is like another, or a 989 equivalent of the Blitz series that was so popular. spoiler. So this is over-the-top football action on the PlayStation 1. So yeah, this one should be fun. There is like a career mode or a season mode on here, so that's what I'm going to use on this one. But yeah, wanted to grab it. These are really cheap, fortunately. Like, these were less than $5 each, so I figured why not add them to the collection. It's just for fun. And I do have a PS2 hooked up that can play PlayStation 1 games. So yeah, grabbed NFL Extreme 2 and Cyber Tiger on PS1. So those are the two PlayStation games I grabbed. Now let's jump up to the next era. So I'll stick with the sports games for now, and I'll jump up to PS2 and Xbox. So these ones I actually bought just a couple of hours ago because Disc Replay was having a buy two, get two free sale on all of their PS2 and Xbox games. So I'm weird. I wanted to add more to my sports game collection, which I think I've talked about before, but I do have a stupid amount of sports video games from the PlayStation 2, Xbox, and on era. And so, yeah, it's just dumb, but I love them, and so that's why I like collecting them. But this first one here is actually kind of a cool find because it's a little more difficult to find. This is F1 Career Challenge on PS2. So this is just like, I want to say I think this was from 2002, so it was like the 03 era of EA Sports games. And I found this once years ago when I started doing my whole collecting old sports games thing, but I got it home and it had the wrong game inside. It was one I already owned. So I took it back, and then I'd never seen this movie in the wild ever, or this game in the wild ever since. So when I saw it, I had to grab it. So I had it in the collection. So F1 Career Challenge on the PlayStation 2, supposed to be one of the better F1 games out there. Not one I've played yet myself though. We'll just keep going here with some of these sports games. This is NFL Blitz 2003 on the Xbox. So like I said, I've been in the Blitz mood because I've been watching some YouTube videos on it. So this is a good one for the Xbox and PS2 era. There is NFL Blitz 2002, 2003, and then NFL Blitz Pro, which I own, but is actually the worst in the series. So I wanted to grab 03 because it's supposed to be the better game. I've not played this one, only the later one. So NFL Blitz 2002, and this is from Midway, I should also point out as well. So this is the original, Blitz creators. And then the next one, another Blitz game. This actually came out after Blitz, the Pro, or what am I saying? Blitz Pro. That's what it is. This one came out after that. This is Blitz the League. That's where I'm getting the word "the" from. But this one was released on the Xbox 360, but it is expensive. And I owned like this one and the sequel on Xbox 360 way back when, but I sold it many moons ago. And so unfortunately, I just don't want to spend like, it's over it's like $30 or $40 for it, and that's ridiculous for an old sports video game, so I'm not paying that. This was a lot cheaper on the original Xbox, and from what I've read, it's actually a better game, if not better, kind of equivalent on the original Xbox or PS2 as it was on Xbox 360, so I figured why not just buy this one, then it can save me, a ton of money, so I don't have to spend stupid amounts of money on the Xbox 360 version. I will point out, if you don't know, this does have like a story-driven career mode in it, and it is just crazy over the top. It's why they don't have the NFL license in this, but they do have some retired players because it's so over the top. Like, these owners are like, drug dealers and things like that. It's just insane. And so it's a lot of fun, and it's really well done. So that's why I wanted to add that one back to the collection. And then the last sports game I grabbed is one of my favorites from back when. I owned it on the PlayStation Portable, but I've never owned it on the console, but it's the same thing basically. This is NFL Street Volume 2, or NFL Street 2, excuse me. So they have like the NBA Street Series, the FIFA Street Series, and the NFL Street Series. And this one was always one of my favorites. I loved this series of football games. EA Big was so much fun. They did like the SSX games. I love those. Unfortunately, they went by the wayside, but this is just over-the-top arcade action, like done at its best. And so I'm actually going to pop this one in a little bit later because I am really looking forward to playing this one. This is an honestly, like, I spent more than I would have ever imagined I should spend on a game like this, given its age, but the street games are getting more valuable, especially, pandemic video, retro video, not retro, but whatever. Games of this age, I guess they're retro at this point, they're getting more expensive, even the sports games, which is super disappointing because back when I started collecting sports games for this era, they were like buy one, get one at $2 a piece. Like, so that's how I amassed so many at one point. But now they're more expensive. I'll be honest, this was a $20 video, or no, I'm sorry, it was $17. It was marked at 20, but it was actually $16.99. So, you know, with the buy two, get two, that, you know, makes that average a little bit lower, but yeah, pretty expensive for a Xbox video game, a sports video game. But yeah, either way, happy to have it in the collection, and it is complete. All of these were complete, which is always what I'm looking for. So yeah, really cool to add NFL Street. So those were the 4 sports games I picked up today as part of the buy two, get two. So I do have a couple more PS2 games to talk about, but they are not sports related. All right, so let's get out of the sports game talk and let's talk some shooters. This time it's a third-person shooter. This is SOCOM US Navy SEALs and SOCOM 3 US Navy SEALs. So I needed these two specifically because I had the other two on PS2, but I wanted to start at the beginning, and I realized the other day you don't have the first one, which is just ridiculous. And these were actually decently priced. Like, these I think were $5 each, which honestly is pretty rare at Disc Replay anymore. Anything PS2 or Xbox, 90% of everything PS2 or Xbox is $9.99 or higher. So when I saw these two for $5 each, I said, you know what? Let's grab them. Maybe they're priced wrong. I have no idea. But I was going to take advantage of the $5.99 sticker. So that's what I did. And I loved the SOCOM series. They were some of the first games I used to play online. My buddy was just ultra obsessed with this series. And so he would play it for hours and hours on end. And that's how, you know, I kind of got into it as well. But yeah, it was just an awesome online experience back in the day before all of like the just horrible human beings started playing online. And that's why I never play online anymore at all. But yeah, anyway, this was awesome. I love this series. Never actually played through the main, the main campaigns on these. I really only did the single or the multiplayer on them. So excited to go back and revisit these, especially for such a good price. I didn't want to pass them up. So SOCOM US Navy SEALs 1 and 3 will complete my SOCOM collection on the PS2. Next up is a game that I have been meaning to pick up for quite a while, and I'm really glad it went on sale. I finally was able to pick up Star Wars Republic Commando and Star Wars Racer, the combo pack, on Nintendo Switch. So this has 2 classic games on it. Star Wars Racer I used to love back in the day. Just a fun, like, kart style racer, I guess I'll call it. And then Republic Commando, I've always heard excellent things about. It's supposed to be a really good first-person shooter, but I've never actually played it. So with the Switch version now, I can go about and do that. So yeah, really excited that I was able to add this to my collection. This was like $19.99 on sale. I was able to get it from my local GameStop. So they had this one and then the other one, which is like the Jedi Star Academy 1 and 2, I think, or something like that. But I ended up passing on that one and just getting this one. I'll probably grab the other one at some point just because I want to have them both. But yeah, either way, very happy to have this in the collection. I've actually not started this one yet because I have been stuck playing this next game, which I'll show in just a second. But yeah, very excited to add Star Wars Racer and Star Wars Republic Commando to my Switch collection. So the last physical game I bought is one I'm playing right now, and I've been wanting this game for years, and so finally, on March 10th, better known as Mario Day, I bought Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe for the Nintendo Switch. So this one was on sale thanks to Mario Day, another one I got from GameStop. It was on sale for that day, and then I also had my $5 off coupon to use for the month still, so I got a really good price on this, and honestly, like I said, I've wanted this game for years. 2D Mario is like my favorite platforming style. And so I'm sure, you know, I was sure I was going to enjoy this one, and I am, but oh my God, I am so bad at this game. It's ridiculous. I am finding it so hard. It has been so many years since I played a 2D Mario, and it's embarrassingly hard how often and it's embarrassing how often I'm dying, but yeah, it's still a fantastic game. It's a lot of fun. It's exactly what you would expect a 2D Mario to be. Not changing the world by any stretch, but it's enjoyable for what it is. So if you know what you're getting, then you'll probably enjoy it. So this one I've been playing quite a bit recently, and so that's why I haven't gotten to the Star Wars games yet. But yeah, it's like I said, it's a lot of fun. So the last physical game I grabbed is New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, but I do have a couple of digital games that I want to talk about as well. So the first digital game I picked up is the last Switch game I've grabbed recently, and this is another sports title which I honestly forgot about until just now, but this is Retro Bowl. So if you are a fan of games like Tecmo Super Bowl on the NES, then you would probably get a kick out of what Retro Bowl is doing here. Like, it's a similar arcade style, super simplistic, but it's just a ton of fun. I ended up winning the Super Bowl twice in this thing already, and I'm still going because it's a blast. So this is such a weird game to explain. explain, you take control of a team. If you want to, you can start with your favorite team, or you can pick a bad team and try to build them up, which is what I did. And so I started with the team, and then you have like different points that you earn to buy free agents, to upgrade your facilities, to upgrade your staff, things like that. And you're just doing your best to win each week. And what's really unique about it is the gameplay style, because you're not selecting like all these different plays. The computer's going to give you one play on offense. You can either run it or you pass it. And the passing is just so different. You don't just hit a button, and it passes it. You have to like use the joystick to control where the arrow is going to go, and then you pass it that way. It's really strange, hard to explain. But it's super simple, and you don't play any defense, which like, yes, thank you. Even on Madden or NCAA, I never played defense. I just, I used like the head coach or the offensive coordinator option to avoid playing defense whenever possible. So that's like made for me. But it's addictive. You get through games super fast. It's just super arcade fun. So I've been loving it. I actually went back and was playing Tecmo Bowl Throwback, I believe is what it's called, on the Xbox 360 recently, because I was into Retro Bowl. And they're just so much fun. Like Tecmo Super Bowl is one of my favorite video games of all time on the NES. And so these feel in a similar vein. Tecmo Bowl Throwback is basically just a remake of it, but Retro Bowl is something different, and it's done super well. So I'm loving it. If you like these old sports games, definitely give that one a shot. It was like really cheap when it came out, on like $5 or something when it came out. So definitely worth that if you are interested in those sports titles. So the last Switch game I grabbed in the first digital title is Retro Bowl for the Nintendo Switch. So the last video game I picked up recently is one that I typically wouldn't have done digitally, but I made a little bit of a mistake with that, and I'll let you know what that is in just a second. But this is WWE 2K22 on the Xbox Series X. So my thought going digital was, one, I was able to get $10 off because it was on sale at Newegg, I think, or whatever. And so I got $10 off the price. So that was the main reason I went that way. But my thought of going digital versus physical was, well, I have multiple Xbox systems that I like to play on, so this will just make it easier. I don't have to, drag the disc around. Turns out you had to spend like an extra $20 to get the multi-version, or what is it? The multi-generation version, I guess, where you could play it on your Xbox Series consoles and your Xbox One consoles, because obviously I only have one Xbox Series X, and then I have an Xbox One and an Xbox One S. And so, unfortunately, I still can't play WWE on my other two systems, but that's okay. It is what it is. Like I said, I saved $10 on it, so it's a win either way, and I'm not trading it away either anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But this game was really fun when I started it, and then I ran into all these glitches. I've never had a video game crash as much as this game has. Whenever you download created wrestlers, when you hit a certain number of custom images, you just can't do anything with the game. It starts crashing on every button press. It is obnoxious. And so obviously the reason I wanted it is to bring in the AEW guys, because I am a diehard AEW guy at this point. I wanted Jericho in there, MJF, Mox. Like I just wanted all these AEW guys in there. And so I started downloading them. It was working fine the first night, but then the second night when I started downloading more, everything just got all screwed up. So it's just been annoying. So I actually had to go in and delete like 90% of everything I downloaded so I could actually play the game. At this point, like the universe mode, I started doing a like superstar universe, and it's terrible. Like there's no storylines to it whatsoever. It's just match after match after match every week with no rhyme or reason to it. It's super boring, but the gameplay is so much better than it's been in any of the other 2K games, in my opinion. And so for the gameplay alone, it's worth it. And once they patch it, it'll be a lot better. I'll actually start up a My Rise at some point, where that's like the career mode. I'll do a universe mode once I'm able to download all the wrestlers I want, and I'll do a My GM, which is like the main reason I wanted it. I just haven't wanted to mess with it with all the crashing. So it's been a little bit disappointing, but at the same time, I know it's going to be good in another, couple weeks. So it is what it is. I bought it day one. That's what happens when you buy video games day one, which I don't recommend, because I'm sure it'll be on sale in like 3 weeks anyway, because that's how everything goes nowadays. But yeah, anyway, not enough rambling on that one. WWE 2K22 is the last game I bought recently, and the last one for this random miscellaneous haul. All right, so there they are. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to hold them up or not, but yeah, just a really fun, kind of, like I said, just random stuff in here. Funko Pops, video games, books, graphic novels. Hey, at least I'm staying true to my all things media saying, so that's always good. But anyway, guys, let me know what you've been finding outside of the world of movies. What books, what Funkos, what games, what anything, what other media have you found recently? I'd love to hear about it down in the comments below, and if you guys have played any of these, let me know what you love out of this stack and what is a waste of time, which I know most of you are probably thinking, well, all those sports video games are a complete waste of time, and I totally get it. I am weird like that, but it is what it is. Anyway, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please give it a like down below. That engagement really does help me out, and like I always say, I don't just talk one media type like I've proven in this video. I talk all things media. Be it books, movies, video games, graphic novels, manga. If it's media related, I'm interested in it, and if you are too, you might consider subscribing. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for today. I just want to say thank you all so much for watching, and I want to encourage you to consume some media today. I'll catch you next time.